Hi, this is Dalzinia Sams in Houston, Texas, Artist for Peace. I am calling in response, calling. I am responding this morning because I've had such an outpour in support regarding Brother, my dog that just passed away, my oldest dog. And it's really helped a lot. Thank you. What I have realized is that I need to share more of my personal experiences in regarding having the journey I've had through healing from being raped, and part of my relationship with Brother is that he helped me feel very safe. And it's kind of amazing because as a puppy, he was born, I had rescued his mama and gave her a home, and she had puppies. During Ike, a couple of males were loose in the neighborhood and they jumped the fence. And so I had puppies, and hence I got Brother and Sister. And I was only going to keep Sister. And there was another little dog I wanted to keep, but Brother intuitively communicated to me that he wanted to stay. My experience was that he begged me to let him stay with me. And he was so shy. He was painfully shy. And every time people came to look at little puppies, he would just shiver. He was just like petrified. And it was to the extent that I said, okay, you can stay with me. His little spirit spoke to me, and I said, you stay with me. We're going to stay together forever. And I really meant to keep that. If I could do that, that was my promise, and I was going to keep it. And we did it. We stayed together to the end. And, but amazingly, he was a very quiet, basically refined, reserved dog, but very happy, and beautiful, deep, powerful bark. And I had his sister, who I named Sister, and so I had Brother and Sister. And then we had another little jump the fence accident before I got Sister spayed, and so we got Blondie. So I had those three large dogs, and what was magical, and so I was so grateful because my mother had passed away and I was living alone, and the backyard was fenced in, and I did have two small dogs that stayed inside with me. There's Scout and Chewini, and Honeybee Chewini. She's a Chewini, and so anyway, I was adjusting to my mom being gone and my living alone, and that was a big step for me, living in a rural-like neighborhood. And anyway, I had converted the room that my mom had been staying in to my office, and I had a little lounge chair that I would sometimes fall asleep on. And it was around 2 in the morning, and I heard this tap on my window, and a little voice, a male voice, "Hey, hey, are you there? You up?" And I'm like, "What?" And you're in that kind of dream state, and I couldn't believe it. And I was like, no, I do not want this. And I'm like, is this real? And I looked over, and my 2 little dogs were belly crawling on the floor toward the door. That I'd never seen. And they were doing this low guttural growl that I'd never heard before. And I said, the adrenaline then started pumping. I was like, I did hear that. That was real. At that point, they had moved to my front door, and I could hear them rattling the doorknob, trying to see if it was unlocked and if they could get in. I want to encourage people, which I try to do now out of habit. Keep a pair of shoes nearby, keep your keys handy, and keep your cell phone handy. And of course your purse, for me, the purse. But, I wasn't going to exit at that point. But those are things that when you're by yourself, I want to advise that I think is important. So anyway, I made it to the kitchen area where I remembered my phone was and dialed 911 and reported that someone was trying to break into my home. I, at that point, could hear him moving through the yard to the side area. Luckily, I had a gate that was difficult to open at the side, but I didn't know if he would breach there or if he could go around back and jump the fence. So I'm making the call, and the police are on the way, and I hear my dogs outside. This is Brother, Sister, and Blondie. And I'm crouching in the kitchen, and I look out, and I see Brother running along the back fence. My property is a half acre, so it was a span, a big area. Brother had the longest piece, and he was running up, back and forth that area. Blondie was running the right-hand side. If you're facing the back, the right-hand side, going back and forth. Sister was running the left-hand side, and I could hear them signaling each other, woo, 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 like this. And I'm like, oh my gosh. These dogs were amazing, amazing. Brother was running the pack, and they were managing the perimeter of the back. That guy was not going to get in and not have an issue. I was clear they were going to take care of me. They were taking care of me. And Brother was running the show. And between my little inside dogs alerting me that this was indeed serious, Mom, and Brother, Sister, and Blondie taking care of the exterior, which he never came into the yard. And the police did get there, and they searched and didn't find him. But at that moment, I committed. They could have whatever they wanted. And I made sure they got choo-choos and treats and good meals for the rest of their lives, because They took care of me. They were committed to my care and protecting me. And I was so amazed and so impressed. They're so darling. And so I'll post a picture of that outside crew, my babies, today. But thank you for listening, and I wanted to share that story with you, and so you know just how special he was and is to me and forever will be. And I'm so appreciative to them, because when I didn't have a lot of trust for people, my pets have supported and protected me and made me feel like I could continue. And now I don't feel as vulnerable as I did before. I don't have the same level of fear I had before, but I still feel so grateful that they took care of me. And I have you guys supporting me now, and I know that I'm not alone, and there are good people in the world, and not everybody's gonna hurt me. And I'm very grateful. And that's where I've grown, that I can talk about this and say it out loud, and I hope that encourages someone else that has gone through some very deep pain and fearful things, and know that you can trust, you can grow, you can get to another life. You can have joy again. You can have trust. So thank you, and I love you all. Thank you so much for the outpouring of love and support and acknowledgement of my beautiful, beautiful friend that's passed, Brotha, that sweet little puppy. Okay, thank you. Bye. Have a good day. Have a good week. Be blessed.